California News.
As we head into the holiday season, so many think of ways to reach out to those less fortunate.
It's time now for Geico's
Off the Court Shoutout.
Pro basketball players recently proved they are more than just glossy stats and million-dollar contracts. A number of all-stars got together to help out at a Los Angeles area food bank. Some of the biggest names in the game, packing food boxes, packing trucks, and giving words of encouragement to those in need.
Geico could assist you in saving lots of money on your car insurance. Go right now to geico.com for all the details.
Can you remember the last time you had a great night's sleep? How you felt the next morning? More energized, more alive. Feel the difference of deeper sleep daily with the new Tomorrow mattress. Designed by the world's leading sleep experts at Serta Simmons Bedding and delivered right to your door. Try the Tomorrow mattress for 365 nights risk-free at tomorrowsleep.com. Use promo code AWAKE4 for $125 off. tomorrowsleep.com.
It's time to say see you later, alligator, to embarrassing and troublesome issues with your skin, nails, and hair with all-natural Cayman alligator oil. Cayman oil is locally made, right in Louisiana, where people have been using alligator oil for centuries to treat all kinds of ailments. A drop a day of Cayman oil can help you say see you later, alligator, to athlete's foot, nail fungus, acne, eczema, rashes, dry skin, cuts, infections, MRSA, scars, burns, sunburns, and even ingrown hair and dandruff. If you or someone you know is tired of suffering with any of these skin, nail, and hair troubles, you need to visit mycayman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Cayman oil and get a bottle today. Say see you later, alligator, with Cayman alligator oil at mycayman.com. That's mycayman.com. mycayman.com.
I'm so tired of the buffering on my smartphone.
I'm so over it. Next.
Right? I am so over it. Next.
A radio? Next.
No buffering, just your favorite local radio station?
Next Radio uses the FM tuner that is already built into your phone, so you can listen to your favorite stations on the go. Because Next Radio uses the FM tuner already built into your smartphone, it saves on data and battery usage. When compared to streaming audio, Next Radio uses less than a tenth of your data, and your battery will last 3 times longer. Next Radio, it's FM radio on your smartphone.
Introducing a radio inside your cell phone. Listen to all kinds of local radio stations, including KCAA 106.5 Yucaipa and 102.3 Riverside on Next Radio. Download the free Next Radio app today. 100% free, 100% fun, 0% buffering. Stop the buffer and listen to KCAA. The following message is brought to you by the baby boomer generation, or rather the people who vote every 2 years. Here they are.
Dear young people,
don't vote.
Don't vote.
Everything's fine the way it is.
Tax cuts for the rich? Hell yeah.
Climate change? That's a you problem. I'll be dead soon. Sure, school shootings are sad.
But I haven't been in a school for 50 years.
I can't keep track of which lives matter.
Sure you don't like it. So, you'll like some meme on Instagram.
If the weather is nice, maybe you could go to one of those little marches.
You might even share this video on Facebook.
But you won't vote.
You young people never do.
But I do. I do.
I do.
Midterms, primaries.
Every single election.
We'll be there, but you won't.
Because we're a generation of doers.
Not whiners.
And we're doing great.
November 6th, you can change the world in 10 minutes. Not registered to vote? You can still vote provisionally now through Election Day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 777 West Rialto Boulevard in San Bernardino. For more info, Google SB County Elections. Vote for your friends. Vote for your family. Vote for the ones you love. Vote for those before you and in the future. Vote for all those who gave their lives on the battlefields or on 9/11. Every vote counts. It's up to you. Not a paid political advertisement. Just vote.
Don't miss continuous coverage of Election 2018 Tuesday night with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella. The biggest races, both local and national, will be covered through this one-night event. Election 2018 with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella kicks off at 6 p.m. Listen locally anywhere in the Inland Empire. KCAA 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, or The Legacy at 1050 a.m. You can also stream the coverage live on the TuneIn app through your smartphone. Keyword KCAA. Election 2018 Tuesday night with Mark Westwood and Andrew Caravella at 6 p.m. only on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no voter behind.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Take a walk on the wild side, where the birds and the bees survive. Right before me, my newfound hippie side once ignored these conspiracies online. Out the window, visions of the earth. Sign me up now, make sure you use your smart. Take a walk on the wild side, will the birds and the bees survive? Would your children like to see Mother Nature sigh?
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Welcome, everyone. This is Smart Health Talk Radio Show. And this is the place, man. I hope all you listening out there have made your way over to the voting booth, or like myself and Nick right here, decided we were going to vote by mail. And did you, Nick, did you actually put yours in the post office mailbox?
I actually did, believe it or not.
Okay.
I actually went outside, walked, put it through the mail slip, and did it that way.
Okay,
I'm a weird millennial.
Well, I went outside the box a little bit there. That was my choice, and I read the instructions, and I had until 8 o'clock today to get it into the mail. And of course, I always wait till the last minute. I actually thought that maybe I had time after the day, but no, you have to have it when you get your mail ballot, which, you know, I love the freedom, because once I requested my mail ballot, I mean, I could just put that ballot in the mail any old time I wanted.
It's true.
I could vote anytime I wanted before the voting day.
You could have done it 2-3 weeks ago like I
felt
did.
so
You could have done it this morning.
Yeah, because I got it in the mail like 3 weeks ago. And so I've had all this time to do it. And
sounds about right.
And I have to admit that I have a resource that is one of the most efficient resources. Googled every single person, didn't just read the sample ballot, you know, and the little things that they say with that. They Googled every single person and read about them. And I actually got this idea from Murphy Brown. And just in case you're wondering out there, everyone, no, I don't have slippers on like Murphy Brown here at the radio station.
I can confirm this.
I'm a big Candace Bergen fan, so you know, I'm really loving the show. I did consider wearing slippers today. I did, but anyway, you know, we were really proud to have you know, gotten our vote in. I could have put it in the mailbox, but I actually had I had got that idea to share. That's where I was going with all. Okay, where are you going with this, Elaine? I was that if you, because I was asked, why didn't you vote sooner than when I started? Okay. And I really thought about it, and I feel like I didn't feel qualified to be able to read the ballot and really make a good decision on all the issues. But after I got my college education, I started feeling a lot smarter and a lot more capable. But really, many people are capable. I wish they would make it easier for people to really research these things, put it all in one, page. You could click videos and have like different resources in one page.
Well, there's some pretty valuable websites out there, but the thing is I think that's a common hurdle that I think a lot of people run into, is that it takes a lot of research, and the information out there, unless you know where to find it, isn't readily available. But the way I see it is, you're only asked to do this once every 2 years on average. And, especially in an election that's this important, and the next election that's going to be really important, that's the least you can do. Just put in an hour or two of research, and, that's all you got to do.
I agree. But if you're one of those people that didn't want to look up all the school board members or those other things that they had on there too.
Yeah, there's some boring stuff on there.
Yeah, that I guess, that the idea that they had in Murphy Brown, which was, someone that was preparing not to vote, at the last minute got inspired to vote. So instead of just running down there and hastily, just voting for people that you have no clue, because I've done that. Okay, I was like, oh man, I was supposed to know which of these people too I was supposed to pick.
I like that person's name.
Yeah, I made some mistakes, okay, as a newbie when I started voting. But I liked how they showed that if you have someone in your life that you really trust, better to double their vote with the philosophies, maybe. And then, maybe there's some people, oh yeah, I already picked the governor, I already had that one slam dunk. Maybe you felt really sure about some that you'd seen lots of commercials, and maybe you had actually researched, but maybe some of these other people, not so good, but someone that actually did and you trust them. I would just, I just was asking myself, is that good advice to give people? Because they pretty much did in Murphy Brown. They had someone that had done the research hand a ballot to someone that was at the last minute voting.
Right.
So what do you think, Nick?
Well, I think it's important to vote because it's important to do the research.
Yeah,
because
that's the ultimate goal, is that we have people doing the research. But I'm just wondering if maybe we inspired some people right now, Nick. Okay.
Here's hoping. Hey, if you're driving right now.
Oh gosh, Elaine, I listened to your Smart Health Talk radio show, and now I'm inspired. I've got to get down to that voting place. I just got to.
Because think about it. I mean, every single decision in this election, particularly the midterm ones, particularly these with the propositions and the super local elections, they affect your everyday life. This is your everyday life. This is the law. This is, you're affecting your environment and your surroundings when voting. That's how important this is.
So many things. Well, what I heard, Nick, is the really big one that a lot of people may have not gotten the memo on, because they're not really talking. Well, I did hear it on CNN. I did hear it there. But I don't know how much they're really, I I haven't necessarily seen big headlines on this. But I did hear from, I remember where I heard it from the first time. It was, I'm pretty sure it was the governor of Montana. And he had said that the governor's races are really the most important races right now. And the reason for that is this term that you can just tell by the way it sounds, gerrymandering. I mean, gerrymandering. As soon as you hear that word, you're like, okay, I can tell by that word people are up to no good.
It's true. It's not even a good sounding word, you know? It sounds
bad.
Don't
you think, Nick? It's like you could tell right away.
Gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering. Man,
that
those
can't
people
be good.
are up to no good.
I
know they're up to no good.
No, it's true. I almost feel like, the federal elections, like the presidential election, that's the sexy one, right? But I think the most important ones are the gubernatorial, the mayoral, the propositions. Those are the ones that affect you most directly because you're dealing with your city, your state, your county, those, these, in my opinion, are more important. And if you're still on the fence and if you're in the car right now and you're still on the fence, I think we're both here to tell you, vote. Just do it.
Like I hadn't thought about it until I heard him talk about this, but with the gerrymandering, you can pretty much determine the outcome of an election by just changing the boundaries of the voting districts. You can really play around with those numbers.
It's shady.
And get them just where you want them, depending on what side you're on there.
I'm a little surprised it's legal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think maybe one side is up to a little bit more, up to more no good. More so than another side. So I'm really hoping that we have more Democratic governors. And the last report that I got before I left the house was it's looking really good for Democratic governors.
I've heard the same.
This is like, okay, all you Republicans out there, I'm sorry if that just upsets you, but we're trying to keep this country honest, and unfortunately gerrymandering is not an honest type of thing to be doing with our government and elections. So if we're stopping gerrymandering, then that's a good thing. But I just hope after you've listened to us, and Nick gave a really great argument. Thank you, Nick. That was really good. I hope you are now inspired because, how far away we're here in California. I think most of our voting places are pretty legit where we don't have the long lines, and on the other side, I saw in one county, I mean, it was so ridiculous. They had it at the community center, and then they changed it. Now, we're talking about gerrymandering here. This is like another example. They actually sent the producer out to the city. They took the camera and had it on the dashboard, and they went from the place where they normally had always had the elections, which was right in the middle of town, easily accessible to everybody, a large place, huge parking lot. And they switched it to some place way the heck outside of town.
Interesting.
And so people that, if they didn't have a car or transportation, like there was no buses out there, then they were probably not going to make it to the voting site. And that was the whole idea to begin with. And when you see that kind of blatant playing around with voting locations, it does really make you mad. And there was like no other events. And of course, they made some lame excuse, which turned out to be a lie. So we know that this stuff happens because they reported an instance, and people are like, this is, we're told not to be tattletales. Yeah, and in some incidents, Big Brother and telling on people maybe not cool, but gosh, this whole like telling on something like, okay, we're over here in I don't know, what's like a little Timbuktu, which actually was a real city at one time. We're over here, and like we can't even get to the booth, the voting location, because they've changed it. People were calling in and actually reporting this stuff now, where I'm thinking before people were kind of like, oh, well, this is just the way it is, I'm just going to have to eat it. But now I think people are like, hey, I'm letting everyone know we're being suppressed over here. There's voter suppression going on, and people are reporting this. So this is a time when it's okay to be a tattletale, I think, because we need to know if this stuff is going on, because this is a barrier to our voting rights. Yeah. And Nick's over there shaking his head. He agrees with me.
I do.
Yes. Okay, and I hope you guys are agreeing with me, and I hope you realize, when, after I watched John Adams, I thought that was like such a great docuseries on what it took to get this country started. And you realize the sacrifices people made. Yes, their life. And these were just everyday people like you and me. Families, go to work, goals, hope the kid gets to college. If you had enough money back then, of course, everyone dreamed of that. Some people didn't even know how to read. But, they still had the same dreams back then. So, when you got to do a revolution, because they're going to come and like maybe take all your land, or you don't agree with the way things are being done, and you are a visionary, like the forefathers of this country were visionaries, you see what's going to happen, because it's probably happened before. And it was those people that made the true sacrifices, the women, the suffragette. I never know how to say that word right. But you know that the word had suffer in it, okay? So we know that those women and the men that were sympathetic to women having the vote really did a lot of sacrifice. So let's make them all proud for all the sacrifice that they did. Let's not have that be in vain. Let's not let our vote go down the toilet, which happens when we don't vote. So please get in your car, call a friend to give you a ride, whatever it takes. We're going to be Americans today. We're voting. Yeah, right on. Woo! So, okay, so what kind of things are in the news that are important right now? Well, there were a lot of things going on. This one really got to me, okay? France, they're banning a pesticide that people were falling ill, like really sick from this pesticide. And I started doing some research on it, because they were like, oh, this is one of the most widely used pesticides in all of Europe, and I think probably the world. And I'm just like, you're kidding me. They're banning a pesticide that's one of the most widely used pesticides in France. And I wasn't even really quite aware of it. I'm like, what the heck is this pesticide that all these people are getting sick from? And therefore the country said, that's it, we're banning it. And just in the country of France, they're using like 700 tons of that. So, that's like 14,000 pounds. That's a lot. Wait a minute. Was that 140 or is that 14? That was 14,000, right? Yeah. Just count this. You have to count the zeros. Okay, well, it's a lot. Okay, we know that. And this, obviously, it's very toxic. And what they use it for is to desiccate, which means to kill things, plants, so that they can get the seeds out of it, and then also to sterilize the soil. Now, you're like, wow, this is one of the most used things. So we're going around like sterilizing soil in a massive way, which right there off the bat, let me tell you, not good. Because there is like, just like your gut bacteria, where we have trillions of bacteria in our gut, we got like trillions and trillions in like one little square inch of soil if it's organic, healthy soil. And now we're going to sterilize that, just like we take an antibiotic and end up sterilizing our gut. And how many people out there with C. diff and all these gut problems because their bacteria is wiped out and nothing will help them except fecal implant. Like, how would you like to get down to where like the fecal implant, and it's just what it sounds like, okay? That's like your hope, because you messed your body up so much. So what is it going to take? We don't have a fecal implant for the soil. They're out there inventing all these microbes right and left because we have destroyed all the microbes in the soil. And now we're trying to like put it all back when we had perfect soil to begin with. And Dr. Lundgren says, Jonathan Lundgren, in one of our interviews, that if we just step back and leave the bugs alone, that they will take over everything. And in my garden, I had, first of all, I had pesticide damage from a neighbor, which weakened my plants, which brought the aphids. I had aphids covering every single plant. Unfortunately, more pesticide was sprayed when the ladybugs and lacewings tried to show up, so it slowed down the egg production. But when they were finally left alone and able to start just producing like crazy, within 6 weeks, all the aphids, like someone came in the middle of the night and just took them all. So I know that works. So when I hear we're inoculating the soil, which happens every time they grow strawberries, they inoculate the soil, they make it dead, no earthworms, no good bacteria, nothing in there, because they don't want the mold to grow, because the soil's so bad that the mold will grow. It's weak. And then the plant's weak, and then the mold grows. And that's why strawberries are the most toxic piece of produce that you can eat. I recommend only eating organic berries, and unfortunately those have been compromised that they're hydroponic, but at least they don't have the pesticides, because they spray the worst pesticides of all on all berries, besides inoculating the soil with all these other ones. So I started looking this stuff up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this other whole way of farming is going on out there, where they're using like this product, then they use like, then I found out today they use these things that are like pod sealants, where, like if you have a seed product like a wheat or a soybean, you don't want the seed to fall out as you spray Roundup on the product, which it's not GMO, so it dies. It's called desiccation. This was a whole new word for me. I was like, they're doing what? They're spraying Roundup on wheat, rice, beans. They spray it on these crops to kill them so that they can harvest them quicker. But not just that. They're spraying something called some sort of pod sealer. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I have to add some other weird friggin' process that they're using in farming that is adding some other toxic chemical. I'm like, oh man, I had to go and learn about that too. And that was in the process when I was researching like how they make soap and they use like this one chemical in soap. They're like, oh yeah, that's really toxic, so we're trying to get this other one, and now they're just like, well, that one's really not so good. I'm telling you, people, in my house, like, I don't have bottles of cleaner. I don't have like scrubbing bubbles for my bathroom and like some other cleanser for my bathtub. I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that expense. I eat organic food because I save money so many other ways that people are wasting money. Most of the chemicals that your family is exposed to are being brought into your home. I tell you, flea collars, one of the worst. Any pesticides out there you're using, even the stuff you're putting on your baby. You know that baby powder that was supposed to be so safe? That caused ovarian cancer. And I'm glad to say Johnson & Johnson, not one drop of any of their products ever touched my babies. I bought only organic products for their skin, and that was over 30 years ago. We now have new studies that say when you eat organic, your risk of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma goes down 25%. Does that, this is brand new research. Hopefully some of the best design, but we have technology now where when you have new research coming out, they've used some of the best technology of all. So this is the kind of research, when it's a well-designed study, that we should really trust. And I tell you, when I start looking at what these people are up to, and when I found out that, I read some press release and they're just like, oh, we've got like this Global Food Security Act. I'm like, what is this? This is all like, we got Monsanto and all the Bayer. Okay, Monsanto, DuPont, Syngenta, Bayer. And oh, by the way, we've said it here, we're going to say it again. Study came out that Bayer aspirin a day is bull. It's not even helping you at all. It's making Bayer, which now owns Monsanto, richer over one of the few products that they make that actually people just put in their body that's supposed to be a health benefit. They've been lying all this time. There was never any good research to back that up. Now we test 70,000 people and we find out it's a lie. But not just that. When you're taking Bayer aspirin every day, you bleed. So, it doesn't help you and you may die from the bleeding. Just had a case this past week. Someone had cold, their nose started bleeding, wouldn't stop bleeding. Like, okay, did you take any aspirin? You still taking that aspirin a day even though I told you not to? Yep. Okay. Well, you took the aspirin, that's why you can't stop bleeding. Because that's what aspirin does, everyone. Land O'Lakes. Land O'Lakes, oh my gosh. Don't buy their products. Please don't buy their products. They're so bad. We've got a new person over working at the EPA. This person is a former polluter from Monsanto. She's nominated to head another environmental agency. I just like the who's who of big corporate in our government right now. It is so sickening. And then those of you that even care or don't know, sorry, I'm watching this. I didn't mean the sound to come on. But those of you that even care out there about your milk and how it's treated, we have someone that was head of policy and made the whole GMO thing happen. The international dairy person, head of the International Dairy Council, former Monsanto person, And trust me, they are up to stuff. Their plans with what I just mentioned, this Global Security Act that they're trying to do, the dairy industry is right in there. This is all about getting GMOs in Africa. That's what these people are all about. Oh, we're going to save starving children. No. Their plan, they got people that have owned like 5 acres of land in Africa for generations. They come in, oh, we're going to make you rich with GMO seed. They get them in debt, all right? They get in debt because they buy this seed. They get them to sign something. They can't pay the money because the crop failed. They need to spray all these pesticides. They've never sprayed pesticides before, and they didn't have enough money to buy the pesticides. So guess what? They get indebted to Monsanto. They take their land. They get the government to take their land and give it to Monsanto to grow GMO seeds in Africa. So this is not a plan to go and help feed the world by these people whatsoever. This is a plan to go to Africa and steal their land and put these people in debt. Nick, do you have Vandana's video? Okay, we're going to listen to Vandana Shriva. This is Dr. Shriva, and she is from India. She has been all over the world. She knows what's happening in India. We have people, they have used this same technique in India. People are committing suicide at such high rates there. It is just so disturbing, and is because the family gets in debt. It's the only way to get the family out of debt is to drink the pesticide. Go ahead, Nick. Let's listen to what Dr. Shriva has to say about organic food and why it's so important.
It's vital for everyone to be organic, every person to eat organic, because otherwise they're eating poison and basically writing a recipe for chronic diseases. It could be cancer, it could be neurological problems. It's vital for everyone to be organic because organic is the only living solution to climate change. Chemical farming is a very big contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, but organic farming takes the excess carbon out of the atmosphere and puts it in the soil. I am optimistic about the future because I don't create hope in abstract. I create hope through action. I cultivate optimism. And with every farmer we have worked with every seed we have saved, with every child who got nutritious food, I realize we can move the world to a 100% organic future, good food for all, no farmer committing suicide, no farmer in debt, the earth regenerating, our democracy and our hope regenerating.
I'm very optimistic about organics. We're creating new solutions for climate and animal welfare and sustainability and good soil every single day. And governments are starting to see that organic food policy works. It's good for farmers, it's good for consumers, and it's good for the planet.
That, everyone, was actually was videotaped at a conference where they were giving it's Shakam. It's like in it's over near Tibet and China. And it's this little tiny state that has become 100% organic, the whole country. And the government got behind them and made it happen. And the children are the most affected by these pesticides, but it's affecting all of us and killing us slowly every single day. But the children are the ones that are the greatest impact. And pregnant women, beware. And what we're feeding our children. Have you heard about how there's glyphosate at super high levels in General Mills cereal, but it's in all the cereals that aren't organic, by nature's path. F grade for antibiotics from all these, almost every single fast food chain had like an F grade for antibiotics in their meat. The Gulf is dead because of all this meat. They're trying to get laws passed so that they can dump more manure in the water system, in the irrigation system. So then our kids, especially, they're the most susceptible. They eat contaminated food, get sick. Their chances are them, the elderly, people that are already sick, can die from all this. But there's other risks, autism especially. This is where they practically steal your child's soul, where they don't ever get to be their true selves. Autism rates are on the rise. Dr. Stephanie Senna, 50 years MIT, who has devoted her life at looking into autism, had some very, very scary warnings for us.
It was about 8 years ago that I changed really my career emphasis towards biology, back towards biology, actually, from my roots. I love biology, and I was motivated by my concerns about autism, because the autism rates are rising alarmingly in this country with an exponential growth. I predict that by 2032, half the children born, 80% of the boys, will be on the autism spectrum if we stay the course. That's the curve. So I think it's an emergency, and that's why I'm sort of pulling out all stops to try to get the message out. What I see very clearly is glyphosate. I think that it is a key factor in not only autism, but many, many other diseases and conditions, chronic conditions that we are putting up with today because of the chronic poisoning that we're receiving in our food supply and also in the water and in the air from this pervasive toxic chemical.
Because it's basically everywhere right now.
It's really hard to avoid. It's impossible to avoid. Even people who are eating organic test positive for glyphosate in the urine. And that's in Europe. I'm sure it's worse here because we consume 25% of the world's market of glyphosate with only 5% of the population. So we love glyphosate in this country, and it's killing us, in my opinion, or certainly causing us to be very, very ill.
Well, I'm looking back over my notes here, everyone, and I mentioned about the F grade for antibiotics in meat. These change. It was actually 22 chains that received the F grade, and they said that, well, the Shake Shack, which I don't think we have very many of around here, was the only one to get an A. The rest, here is Wendy's, D-. The F grade, McDonald's, Burger King, Sonic, Jack in the Box, Hardee's, Carl's Jr., Five Guys, In-N-Out Burger, Farmer Boys, A&W Root Beer, Jack's. All these that I recognize here, there's more, received an F grade for antibiotics. They're dumping massive amounts of manure in the Gulf that is causing dead zones in the Gulf, but that's not all. The EPA plans to allow unlimited dumping of fracking wastewater in the Gulf now. They're going to also all of the safety regulations that were put in place after the Deepwater Horizon disaster. Washington plans to roll back those safety rules that were inspired by that disaster that went on for like weeks and weeks and just thousands and thousands of gallons, which I don't know if we'll ever recover from that. Actually, this is just creating more and more dead zones. Why are we lifting these regulations? This had to do with a part that was cheap for what happened. And that never should have happened. And so the regulations that would have stopped that disaster, we're going to lift them? I don't get it. Why are we doing this? It's because we want to have an accident? Regulations are not necessarily a bad thing. It's because of regulations that we have clean air to breathe in some parts of this country now. It actually used to be worse. If it not for regulations, and that's about where we're going to be going. Okay, what else is in the news here? Oh yeah, I was talking to here was the headline for what I was talking about. What's going on in Africa? Bayer Monsanto merger ramps up technological transformation in Africa. Oh yeah, the technological transformation. Yeah, the suicides that Dr. Shriver was talking about are a very real thing. They hire celebrities to do commercials that tell people they're going to be rich if they use these seeds. And the people in Africa are going to believe it because they don't have input to tell them it's a lie. And this new person that was Farmer Monsanto that's heading up a new one of our environmental departments, it's going to be the Fish and Wildlife Department. This person has absolutely no experience dealing with fish and wildlife. That's because they want to turn our parks into cropland. They want to grow things. These logging companies want to come and grow GMO trees in our wilderness areas. They want to bring cattle onto our park areas and use those lands. What's going to be left here for our children? Because we're just borrowing this planet from our children right now. What are we leaving them? It's just all about money right now. Is that what it is? It's all about money. I don't know. Money is just not, yes, of course, you have to pay it for bills, but like going and spending large amounts of money on things that other people spend large amounts of money on. I don't. I have my American Cancer Society outfit I got last week on right now. I think it's pretty cool. And even my belt I got at a garage sale. My shoes I got for my boots I got for less than $10 at JCPenney sale. The whole outfit, let's see, it's probably, I would say with my belt to probably $50. And that's shoes, really cool leather belt, really cool dress, I think. Oh, my earrings I got from American Cancer Society. They're vintage and they're so cool. They don't even make this kind of plastic anymore. Those were $3. So, this is for this outfit, for what I spent compared to what people would go spend on an outfit in the store. Just amazes me. For that money, I can buy a lot of food. I can buy bulk food. I can buy organic food, farmer direct. Go to eatlocalgrown.com and find local farmers. Also, Local Harvest is another search engine. Buy farmer direct, you save a lot of money. And plus, like I just mentioned, these other fumigants are being used all along the pathway of your food from the farm to get it on the store shelf. You can't even believe all the stuff they're doing to it. I don't want people having my food and doing weird stuff with it. And I don't even know, and I don't know what it is, but I know when they do, it's poisonous. So screw that. Man, I get it right from the farmer. I don't pay any of that extra add-on money. And I know what he's done to it. And he's not over there playing around and doing all this weird stuff. So totally makes sense. Okay, what else we got going on? We have the holidays coming up. And I'm telling you, I got so many pins on Pinterest. I have some of these really great boards that I pin on Pinterest that I've been doing for years. Let's see, I had 315,000 monthly viewers for my pins, and I got some great Christmas, Thanksgiving pins and folders, so please come and join me on Pinterest. Come and check out some of the folders that I've been collecting, because many of these pins that I have, I took sometimes an hour or more just to work on the description, because I'll put product suggestions in there for you. I'll give you warnings about certain ingredients you probably don't want to use and replace with organic because maybe you don't understand how toxic it is. Ways that you could change the recipe, additions you can make, all kinds of stuff just on one pin. So that's why I really encourage you to go check out the pins, that, especially the ones that I went and actually wrote stuff in. I'm probably, not everyone does that on Pinterest. I do that. I turn it into an educational moment because if the graphic isn't telling you enough, then I want to let you know. And so many recipes, you can tweak it a little bit and still have your favorite things. And if you just change the ingredients a little bit, you can turn it into a way healthier meal. And it could be like a meal that you love and you feel satisfied. And as a dietitian, a registered dietitian that knows about these kind of things, I don't want to take away your favorite things. And that's why if you go to smarthealthtalk.com and you go check out our 10 Smart Health Talk resolutions, we have so many great tips in there. I'll tell you, the biggest tip of all is just stop putting stuff in your mouth. The more calories in, the more weight you're going to gain. I tell you, those 200-300 calories extra per day doesn't take long to add up to 3,500. That's the magic number to make you gain another pound. So if you want to lose a pound, you need to eat 3,500 calories less than you're using, and you need to burn extra. So the easiest thing for me, because I don't feel at this point in my life like hitting the gym for 3 hours a day like I used to when I was younger, it's a much easier way to lose weight. Just don't eat and instead find something useful to do with your time. And when you do eat, pick the organic stuff. Listen to Dr. Shriva. I tell you, agriculture is such a key part of what we have to do collectively to make this world a better place. But there's all kinds of other cool stuff that we can do. Oh, and why is it important? Well, a new report that just came out, yield trends are insufficient to double global crop production by 2050. Plus, we're burning too much oil. We have all the stockpiles of oil, and we're going to get warmer and warmer and warmer. So the things that we do pick to do are things that have to make sense. They have to make sense in that the amount of time that we have to get this done, if we're going to get the temperature of the planet from heating up more and get it to start going down, because that's the key, everyone, to global warming. We need to get the temperature to go down. How much money is this going to cost? How much time? Is it possible? Do we have the resources? I'm going to name off something from drawdown.org. Dr. Jonathan Foley is now the new director there, and I'm hoping that they're going to do a great job of helping to get some of these things done. Refrigerant management. You know that stuff, the refrigeration that for our air conditioners and our freezers and that? We know it destroys the ozone. We can't be just ditching refrigerators in this refrigerator and letting it go up into the air. But we know that people are still using the kind that they're not supposed to be using. Wind turbines. Wind turbines onshore have huge capacity to bring down the temperature of global warming. Reduce food waste. We're wasting too much food. We only eat 50% of what we make, of what we're growing. And it's crap. It's grown with poison. Let's just grow half as much and make it really good. How about that? And some of the barriers, one of the biggest barriers that I've learned to transition to organic that I've thought of before, but not for a while, and that is tractors. We need the John Deeres and the Caterpillars of the world to quit making these high-tech tractors that a farmer has to wait 2 days for a friggin' repair guy to get out there to fix it. They can't touch it and fix it themselves. They just want a plain tractor. We need tractors invented that make it easier to farm organic, not something that's spraying pesticides and liquid chemicals onto soil more efficiently. We need those guys to start participating in this. So those of you that are out there that are good at making phone calls, make a phone call to those guys and tell them to start making farm equipment that farmers can use, and start eating a more vegan diet, which is our Smart Health Talk resolution number 10. Leave our tropical forests where they are. Unfortunately, the Brazilian president is now opening up the forest to big corporate to come and take it down, burn it down. Educating girls, that's huge. Family planning. Hey, let's stop having so many kids. We have 7 billion people. We didn't have 1 billion until 1800. We didn't have 2 billion until 1932. And from 1932 until now, we've had over 5 billion people. Okay, solar farms, rooftop solar, regenerative agriculture. That's organic, everyone. That's better than organic. Temperate forests, peatlands. We have to leave the peatlands and the tropical forests alone. Okay, we're running out of time, but these are the kind of things that we need to start thinking about collectively. Drawdown.org, everyone. Go check out our Blue Monarch project. We got monarchs hatching, and join us here next Tuesday. I'm Elaine McFadden, and I just want to thank you so much for tuning in to Smart Health Talk.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com, or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Yes, there's your long ball. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal. Today's show is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand, plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or visit them at nocourt.us. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Folks, I want to get this out here right away. It's about the NFL, and, there's a lot of injuries and lawsuits and this and that, and, you have these ridiculous mega contracts. I mean, whether it's a quarterback or a running back or a defensive tackle, whatever. So, former Vikings defensive tackle Sharif Floyd is to sue the noted surgeon Dr. James Andrews for $180 million. $180 million! That's ridiculous. So, Andrews' fame grew, a little bit about him. His fame grew with a number of high-profile elbow and knee surgeries and shoulder surgeries that he did for major league pitchers and a bunch of other athletes. Anyway, so basically, the moment that made Andrews a household name was when he treated Bo Jackson. Folks, you may remember Bo Jackson from baseball and football, and Bo knows this and Bo knows that. He was a great two-sport star. He was really one of those guys. And, he had this really bad hip injury he suffered when he was with the Raiders. Since then, Dr. Andrews is the guy basically that fixed him up, and he has been the go-to surgeon for many, many athletes, well, basically across the entire sporting world. And so Dr. James Andrews is perhaps the only surgeon in the United States more famous than some of the athletes that he actually treats. Imagine that. So this guy is basically the rock star of doctors and surgeons. So that's what makes this very interesting with this whole Minnesota Vikings defensive lineman Sharif Floyd in his lawsuit against Dr. Andrews. So the report says Floyd will sue Andrews, the Andrews Institute for Orthopedic Surgery, and others over a surgery that ended his NFL career. Floyd went to Andrews for a minor arthroscopic knee surgery in September of 2016. It was supposed to keep him out only 3 to 4 weeks, though. Floyd said he had far more significant procedure, and he had suffered nerve and muscle damage in his right leg. Now, I don't really know if Floyd knows much about the surgery world because he said that he had far more significant procedure. So maybe, I guess, he is a surgeon, but nobody really knows it. I have no idea. So anyway, moving on. Floyd, a 2013 first-round pick and productive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings, never played again after that surgery that he had, that arthroscopic surgery. So therefore, he's suing for lost future NFL earnings. The lawsuit would, in fact, the lawsuit was filed today in the 9th Judicial Circuit Court of Orange County, Florida. The suit says after the surgery, Floyd was, quote, negligently administered a pain blocker that led to the muscle and nerve damage, end quote. Now, Floyd is suing for a whole bunch of money, $180 million. This $180 million figure is for Floyd's future earnings in the NFL through that very high figure for any defensive tackle. However, Floyd was a solid player and certainly was headed towards a lucrative second contract. I'm not so sure it was of the $180 million variety that maybe some of these people are talking about. I mean, here's a quote. We believe that if Sharif had not been victimized on the medical negligence that was alleged, he would have been paid commensurate with some of the top players at his position, if not some of the top defensive players in football. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. This guy probably could have made, we'll just call it $100 million for maybe an 8 to 10 year contract, something to that effect. I don't know. I'm not in the defensive tackle business, and I'm not a sports agent, but I certainly understand the legal world, having a law degree. And here's what I understand. From the legal side, maybe he has a claim that he did lose some earnings. I get that. But now on the business side, you have to estimate what this guy could have made or would have made. Now, we don't really know what he could have or would have made because that's all speculative. So unlike the NBA, where the NBA players get paid basically on the come, we don't really know what they're capable of, but right out of college, we're going to give them some stupid, ridiculous contract, and then they're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars without playing a game of professional basketball. And that was something that went on in a discussion between guys like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas. They had all these discussions, and this is well documented on Pick Your Favorite Network and their archives. They had a lot of discussion on these kinds of things. But I guess really what I'm after here is if you take a guy like Floyd, and let's just say Sharif was going to sign for $100 million over 8 years, which I think is a pretty reasonable number for a defensive tackle. Now, you're going to pay the agent 20%. You're going to lose $20 million right off the top. You know, guys like Boris, you know, they make in Steinberg, they make a bunch of money, right? So let's say now you're down to $80 million. Okay, well, guess what? That's your gross number. Now you've got a tax event, or you got a tax event happening. And the tax event's going to take, well, you're in the 50 bracket right there. So if you're in the 50 bracket, you're going to lose half of your income, or half of that 80 million or 40 million. You're going to clear 40 for 10 years. So here's the reality of the suit, and I think this was the design by it. If the suit is $180 million, and Floyd, his lawyers, etc., they say, well, you know what? Let's settle for, let's settle for maybe $100 million. Or better yet, let's just take half of that. They settle for $90 million. Okay, great. So here's the net result is this. The lawyers are going to take a third, which is their contingency fee. So now that breaks it basically down to $66 million. Well, guess what? Because it's a lawsuit, the lawsuit money is tax-free. So therefore, he's going to net $66 million by not playing football versus maybe $40 million in this example by playing 10 years of football. So it seems to me that the lawsuit has a financial basis, and I think that's really where we're going with this. And folks, if you want the nuts of it, I really believe that is exactly what's going to happen. So you're going to see the Vikings are going to end up, you know, paying this guy out, or Andrew's going to pay this guy out a bunch of money. And guess what's going to happen? He's not going to have to play football, and he'll be a spokesman for surgeries and all this other BS. Meanwhile, $60 million later, Andrews ends up getting screwed on the deal. Folks, we'll be back in just a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit gabradionetwork.com.
If you run a large corporation, small business, or anything in between, you need ads to help get the word out. A full page in the newspaper sounds good. A TV spot sounds even better. But let's face it, newspapers are essentially last-minute wrapping paper, and a TV spot is just expensive and basically code for bathroom break. Talk radio is different. Commercials cost practically nothing to produce, and the listeners are loyal. They like what they like, and they stay tuned in. When they hear about a new product or service during their favorite show, they can't wait to try it out for themselves so they can talk about it with their friends. And you know how radio listeners like to talk. If you want to add radio to your marketing portfolio, you need the Gab Radio Network. Gab Radio is the team of full-service experts you've been looking for, from writing to production, distribution, voiceover, and more. We make sure your spots are paired with the markets at the right time of day so the right people can hear. Since we're in over 100 markets across 34 states, Canada, and American Samoa, I'd say it's a pretty good place to start. If you want to know more, just email sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. The American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO, abtrustco.com, or call 657-600-1876. 657-600-1876. Again, 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company. Call them today. They can help your business right away. All right, also a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And folks, we are joined by Randy Anthony all the way in wonderful North Carolina. Welcome in, Randy.
Yeah, you talking coast to coast, baby. I'm here on the East Coast.
Yes. All right, and we also have Stevie Slapshot in studio here with us as well. Say hello, Steve.
How you doing, boys?
All right, we're ready. We're ready to rock. All right, so here, let's continue on with the NFL. Now, the Saints, we just saw the Saints absolutely dismantle the Rams. I think the game was a lot bigger spread than what they showed. Let's face it, the Saints had 35 at the half. Hell, they could have scored 60+. And the Rams just really defensively were not ready for this squad, and I don't really think that the Rams are as good as they think they are defensively, but that's another discussion. But let's talk about the Saints for a little bit because, you know, the Saints have had injuries and a fading Cameron Meredith, etc. They basically have left the wide receiver position rather thin. You know, they placed Ted Ginn Jr. on the IR, a lingering knee problem after the first 4 games and so forth. Traquan Smith basically started half the games this season, opposite of Michael Thomas. I mean, look, these guys really aren't ready on the other side, opposite of Michael Thomas. So what have the Saints done? They went out shopping, and they worked out a few guys. And now Randy and Steve, Des Bryant, Brandon Marshall, and Kamar Aiken all worked out for the Saints today. So I'm going to go around the horn here. And Randy, out of those 3, what is the best fit and why for the Saints?
Well, Drew Brees is so good, it really doesn't matter who he has to throw the ball to. However, that said, coming from a guy in Carolina who's got a game with the Saints coming up this weekend, it makes the most sense for the Saints to get Des Bryant. Never mind his locker room, whatever that is. He's a great player, and I think he could help the Saints right now. You know, he's not going to need a bunch of playbook and analysts or analyzation. He can just come in and basically jump and go, right? So sure. I go with Des Bryant out of that list. Now, that said, what I said before was that Drew Brees, I mean, heck, didn't he just set the record for the most yards in the NFL ever? And obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And, I mean, they just hit the ESPN power rankings at number 1 after that dismantling of the Rams. I really don't think it matters who they put on there. Who's going to come for the cheapest price? Des Bryant's not the guy, but that'd be the guy I'd get.
Excellent.
Steve, what do you got?
I would go Brandon Marshall because I think all those guys are a step slower, obviously, with advanced age. Marshall was a guy who used his body very well to block off defenders. and he'll still be able to go up and get the ball using his body to shield off the defender.
And, I'm going to agree with that because I like the fact that Marshall has that size. But let's face it, this guy is a 6-time All-Pro. 6-time Pro Bowler, I should say. A first-teamer as well. I don't care about how old he is. He's 34. I do like the Central Florida guys. Central Florida, look, I've been on their bandwagon now for a couple years, and you're damn right I'm sticking with them. But the idea that Brandon Marshall, that he's 34, he may be a hair slower than the other guys. But think back, guys, of somebody by the name of Steve Largent. Remember Steve Largent wasn't the most fleet of foot, but man, did he have hands.
Absolutely.
This guy had hands, Randy, and this guy, it doesn't matter how old he was, because remember, it's easier to act than react, right or wrong.
Oh, no, absolutely, of course. But the Saints games are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as they go through this next half of the season. I think the Saints need a kick in the pants in the locker room because they're good. Obviously, I think they have the best record in the NFL so far. And as far as the National Football Conference goes, they're in the lead. They just knocked off the other team that is so-called the good team. I think you bring Des Bryant in there, you get a little showboating going on. The fans in the dome go crazy. He's an ex-Cowboy. I mean, don't get me wrong. The other two guys, and seriously, it doesn't matter who Drew Brees throws to because he's going to throw it to the open guy, regardless if it's Marshall or Bryant or a guy that's already on the team, like a guy named Alvin Kamara, who's coming out of the backfield, who's probably their best weapon, known to Drew Brees and Sean Payton. So, I mean, pick whichever guy you like. Drew Brees is going to find the open guy. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I do believe that Des Bryant would be more of a distraction from a celebratory standpoint. I know it's a big word for the Raider fans out there. We'll get to that later. But the idea that he will cause penalties, kind of like the really bad penalty we saw at the end or later in the game from the Saints, from the tight end. And that was really a bad move, with the cell phone underneath by the goalpost. That was really dumb. But the idea that showboating is exactly what we don't need. We need discipline, and we need somebody that is less of a showman and more of a team player. What do you think, Steve?
Well, with Dez, not only in the locker room, we saw him blow up on the sidelines during Cowboys games. We don't need that during a game. Right. I wouldn't want that on my sideline during a game.
I wouldn't either. Now, are you advocating, Randy, that you want a distraction?
As a Carolina fan,
I know.
I don't want to distract you,
I know that's what you want. Hell no. No, man. That's exactly why we don't want him.
Sal and Steve, my point is, it doesn't pick one. It's a pick 'em. Pick one guy that you think fits best in your locker room. Pick one guy that you think is serviceable, and it doesn't matter. If the guy's open, Drew Brees is going to find him. If he's not open, he's going to throw it to somebody else or a design run play. Drew Brees isn't Cam Newton, and he never was, and he doesn't have to be. But I'm just saying, it's a pick 'em. You could pick any one of those three guys that they wouldn't have brought Des Bryant in if they weren't serious about maybe thinking about putting him on the team. That was not just hey, we're giving you this interview because we think you're a good guy. No, they didn't bring him in for that. They brought him in because they thought, hey, maybe you can help us. And showboat or not, sometimes that works. And maybe that's the thing that puts the Saints over the top. Because I promise you, the NFL wants Drew Brees to go out on top, just like Peyton Manning did.
Right. Go ahead, Steve.
No, that's fine. I can see them wanting that. I would favor Brandon Marshall because of his size. I think you talked about big games coming up. Brandon Marshall's played in big games and played very well in big games before. So I like him from that aspect as well.
The reason that I would pick Brandon Marshall over Des Bryant, because I look at the fact that Marshall, where did he come from? He played under Pete Carroll, right? And Pete Carroll is the consummate team coach. And I don't necessarily believe that with Kamar Aiken by being in Philly. There's a lot of distractions in Philly. There's a lot of unrest on the sidelines and in the fans. It's a bad environment. Philadelphia teams, let's face it, they booed Santa Claus. Right? And so if you have a city, right, they did. And if you have a city that gets behind a team, well, guess what? Over in Philadelphia, they're going to get behind them, and we're with you win or tie, but we're not with you if you're losing. Somebody told me that a long time ago. Another story for another time. I don't like the fact that Des Bryant comes from the Dallas Cowboys club where he didn't really have the leadership that was really on the sidelines, because Jerry Jones was the leader and is the leader of that team. Hell, he's got his own TV station, his own TV show, whatever the hell. The fact is, Brandon Marshall comes from the better system out of all three of those guys. That's another reason, and probably my most important reason, as to why he's my pick. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Carolina?
Well, I agree, Sal. Jerry Jones is the only owner that does a post-game interview. And he is the leader of that team, and he is why they are, 3-5 now, or whatever their record is after 8 games. And he says he's not going to fire the coach during midseason. Well, you know what? If I had a phone line to Jerry Jones, I would be like, why don't you sit in the owner's box, drink your little toddies, and leave the football to the people who know football, dude, because it's obvious you don't.
Well, I think what they could do over in Dallas here in the last minute is they could fire Garrett. And now, as I understand, just recently, the Chicago Blackhawks just fired Joel Quenneville. Now, I would love to see Joel Quenneville. For all you people that don't know anything about hockey, go read about this guy. You want to talk about a fiery leader? He's basically Mike Ditka times 2. He has the same mustache, too, by the way. Right,
he took the Blackhawks into relevancy in a couple of weeks. Are you kidding me? And they fired him? What?
Yeah, he's gone after 10-plus years. We're going to get to that in the next segment, Randy. It's unbelievable. What an asinine move by Stan Bowman and company. We'll get to that in just a few minutes on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. Don't go anywhere.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Daniel French here from News for You every Monday through Friday. I keep you up to date with a different take on today's news, and I may even leave you with a smile. It's News for You, a 5-minute news and commentary broadcast feature. I've had affiliates yell at me because I'm supposedly such a die-hard Republican, and others who say I'm such an obvious liberal Democrat shill. It's lonely here in the middle and taking fire from all sides. Get News for You for your station. Just email sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
Hi, this is Dennis Sonar Green, Director of Engineering at the Gab Radio Network. If you've missed one of our shows, you can always download it at gabradionetwork.com. While you're there, check out our 24-hour Listen Live stream so you never miss any of our great Gab programming. Give us a like, facebook.com/Gab Radio Network. Remember, you can always shoot me an email, sonar@gabradionetwork.com.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, here with Randy Anthony, and we're here with Stevie Slapshots and a special guest. We'll get back to him in just a minute. This segment is brought to you by Kelly Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own TV, radio, or multimedia talk show. Kelly Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic every day and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Kelly Vegas right now at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. Or visit them at kellyvegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. Tell them the circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on NBC Sports 1500 KHKA in sunny Southern California, our NBC News, CNBC Financial, and NBC Sports affiliates, KCAA 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and 1050 AM right here in Las Vegas, KSHP 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks. In Chicago, WCGO 1590, our Westwood One News affiliate, and on the New York Yankees radio network,